I'm still in most of everything that kids are into. But I have my parents to like keep me focused when I need to be. I've gotten better at keeping myself focused on important stuff too, business wise. But I usually like have my parents behind my back and they push me forward when I get off track.
So the reason why I'm asking you that is because you know, I work in education, the field of education. My wife is the principal of Lake Middle School, and you know, we support a lot of teenagers there, right? What really helped you spark that and like just rock with it, bro? Like what had you be like, you know what, I'm certain this is what I want to do. I'm going all in. How did you determine that?
Me myself, I determined that by just seeing people. I got to see how my work affected people and their smiles, them being happy with what I was doing and being proud of me like other people. I just made me want to keep doing what I was doing. And like once I start something, I have to finish it. And that's like it's like a flawed law. So like I like doing it, you know.
That's fresh, man. That's fresh. So you guys have been here this weekend at this event. You're one of our storytellers, actually. And from your experience being here, you know, the purpose behind it was making sure that folks that are a part of the DAO kind of understand how to utilize it and leverage it, right? How, I have to wonder, I'm wondering, what connections did you guys make when you were here? And is there a connection that you made that you foresee there being like fruits coming out of if you follow through? Like, do you see yourself collaborating with some of the folks here? And how do you think you can leverage the DAO to help you in your neck of the woods and collaborate with others?
Well, Big Reeds already helped us a lot, especially with the high tunnel. I got to meet you, so that's obviously a big highlight. And then everyone else, I want to continue keeping in touch with everybody because I think that I was able to connect with them and their stories. I want to learn more from them and their experiences in life because I'm still young and they're a lot older than me. So they have a lot of wisdom that I believe that they could give me and that I could hopefully share to other people and inspire them with their words or with their experiences.
That's right. Well, I'm inspired, you know, already, dog, from you and from your dad.
Yeah. We've made some really strong connections. We definitely plan on making some visits to some of the different farms that are, you know, within our reach. Memphis, Atlanta, you know, some of the farms there that we've connected with, and just got some really strong ideas from some others in terms of. We had a conversation today with composting.
Our folks from Hawaii.
They are actually from Southern California.
Okay. Southern Cali. Okay.
And so they do a lot of composting. Just gave us a lot of, you know, gems on, you know, how to compost because we're getting ready to get a program of a 3-bin composting system. It's like no. You don't need them bins, them walls in the bins mess up stuff, and so just good ideas. And I think that alone too, just, you know, the information that we learned here is definitely going to have an impact on our operation.
That's dope. That's dope. What's that?
These are the people that showed us the compost Eco Farm Initiative.
Okay, Eco Farm Initiative. Okay, up in the house representing Cali. You know, Jamala's gonna love that. He's real big on trying to get Cali on the map, and they're coming. Cali's probably gonna try to overwhelm everybody else, but we gotta hold it down. All right, y'all. We can't let Cali take over. No, I'm kidding. I love Cali too. So my next question for you: I walk into your garden. What is your garden sign? I've been asking everybody this. What does your garden sign say?
The Garden Cub Project.
Well, I mean, not your physical, you know, garden sign. What would your philosophy of yours say? If I walked into your garden, what would that garden sign say?
I would say it would be. You would be inspired when you walk in because once you have to like have the picture of who's doing it, who's participating in the garden, but also it's really in the middle of a community. So once you walk into the garden, you get an immediate sense of community because the reason why the garden's even there is because of the community.
Okay.
And I would even say, this is not mine, I'm stealing it, but feeding kids and feeding minds. Because, we want to teach them how to grow their own food so that they can be more self-sustaining and eat, from the stuff what inspired Te'Lario, growing his own food, and then having a chance to eat that inspired them to want to grow some more. So we can teach these kids how to grow their own food. Food that you grow, you just have a more excitement and fulfillment about when eating it.
Okay. Well, my next question is definitely to you. Doing this work, with your family, where did that all come from? Like, not a lot of folks. I want to say it's daggone near like a generational curse that a lot of families face because a lot of them are broken. Like, I come from a broken family. My pops was not in the scene. I was not getting that type of support from that side of my family. Obviously, my mom was my go-to. She's the GOAT. But what inspired you to do that with your family? Right?
Absolutely. Same. Coming from a broken family, and then growing up through the whole 80s era, but also having, my grandma's actually who raised me, but then outside of my immediate mom and dad family, my uncles, my aunties on both sides had, complete units. And so I had those examples that I saw, and just a better, way of life. All my cousins, those are who I would, hang out with and wanted to be more like. Saw those family units and wanted, a family unit, more like that one than the one I came from. And so just being able to see, those examples in my own life and just put it together in terms of, I didn't know what a daddy was because I didn't know where my daddy was, but, looking at my uncles and being able to just put those pieces together and, figure out what a family unit should be and look like.
I know that this may have nothing to do with growing food, but it does. You know what I mean? Like, all life starts in the garden. So I feel that same way with family. You know what I mean? Like, to me, being in the garden is like being at church. You know what I mean? It's such a healing environment. You know what I mean? And to bring in, you started off of a vision of your son in this garden, and then boom, and then it exploded into this thing. That's amazing to me, first off. But my next question is to you, young man. What if you could tell your kiddos about your dad in particular? Obviously, this is a super important thing for me as your host. What would you say about your dad?
I would hype up my dad to a point where they would think he was a hero. Because one, my dad's an amazing person, and I love him a lot. So if I were to talk to my kids about their grandfather, he would probably come out as being the next Jesus. They would probably think he's like the second they see him, they would be like in awe. You can't see me, but like they would look up at him in awe. Just like a good guy. Like I can't put it into words how amazing my father is.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Dang. Man, that's fresh, man. So, as I said, the emotions are extremely important. Like, mental health is extremely important. And like, how has that affected you guys? Like, being in the garden, you're helping your community out. Because I've heard this multiple times from you, young man, that like you saw the looks on people's faces. You saw the joy. You saw how proud folks were looking at you. And then like, how do you, that's the good side, right? Yeah. But how do you deal with stresses? Because stresses come, man. That's just, that's just life in general. How do you both deal with that stress? Whether it be the stress of a father or the stress as a young man coming into this space. And now there's, I can't even, Peter Parker's uncle said it best. With great power comes great responsibility. So like, how does that work for you? Because you about the same age Peter Parker was, man. He was 16 when he got his web slinging powers.
One, Spider-Man's my favorite hero, so now you brought that up. But yeah, I deal with stress with my parents usually. If I'm ever like in a stressful situation, they'll usually deal with it. And if I ever, and again, when I say a stressful situation, this is gonna sound egotistical, but I don't feel stress a lot than like other people do. Like when I've been doing this since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Standing in front of people, and when I was on my very first in front of an audience, the Steve Harvey show was the first time I was talking in front of an audience.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? You was on what show?
I was on the Steve Harvey show, and that was my first time. The first time I've ever been in front of an audience. I was on TV, and I didn't feel stressed or nervous about it, and so I just kept that same, like, it's going to be, I'm going to impress them. And again, that sounds cocky and egotistical. I don't want to sound like that, but like I just don't feel.
No, you sound confident. That's good.
I don't feel in those situations, but my parents help me.
Right on. Dad.
Yeah. And so we started the farm in 2020, the height of the pandemic, and honestly, it was a little tiny strip of dirt that we went out and what do you call it? Till this little strip, man. And I literally being able to get out of the house. It was just us, the four of us, our family. And we were just being able to be out there, outdoors, when everybody was locked inside. And that was our opportunity, to get out of the house and be in the garden. And that was stress relieving, you know what I mean?
And that was a very stressful moment.
Absolutely.
I want to say this is maybe like the third or fourth time we talked about how COVID affected us in our certain regions of the world. So like this is great, man. Like hearing you and how you took your family out of the house and then there was purpose. But it was extremely stress relieving.
Yeah, absolutely. Just connecting back to the dirt, and you don't even know, because we had a little gardening at the house, but not like what we were getting ready to do. And so just being out there and being able to get outdoors, work in the soil, have your family with you and around, that was stress relieving. And then just being able to go, the stress of farming now and having a whole garden that you gotta get out there, but still digging in that dirt, man, is still stress relieving. So that's what I love it.
That's fresh, man. Yo, I just want to say, how in the world can folks get involved? How can we contact y'all? How can we be fans? You know what I mean? Like, what can we do? Can we donate? Let us know.
TheGardenCoProject.com, also .org, sorry. And Tiger Mushroom Farms. Just look that up on like any search engine, and you'll find out everything you need to know. Or my name, Te'Lario Watkins. I'm famous. So.
There's that confidence right there, coming right at you. Well, again, I really appreciate you guys coming in and sit down with us. I know we had to trim this thing down a little bit, but I don't want this to end. Let us link up again, man, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to pick your guys' brains about, especially, one about growing fungus, which is, I'm trying to learn how to do that. I was a student of Gardovia, and I'm definitely down to see what the Tiger Farm has to offer when it comes to mushrooms. But thank you for sitting down, man. Like, let's continue to talk. Let's continue to get involved with each other. Follow through is going to be our stress test of the DAO right now. We like those connections that y'all made with the folks out there in California. Like, follow through with that, please. And let's grow this thing. There is no, your hand is on the wheel of driving this thing. Okay. Like, I don't want that to leave you, you know what I mean? Even though we have a committee that is steering some things, but like, it's all of our hands on that wheel, and you have a say so.
Awesome.
All right. Staff Sergeant Matt.
Te'Lario Watkins II.
Te'Lario Watkins Sr.
Hey, Double Dragon. We'll see you next time. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Man, I'm dying to get y'all up in here. But this is a lot of stuff to do,
Yeah.